Hi guys and welcome back to Series Recap. Today we are recapping a Season 2, Episodes 3 and 4 of Series Under the Dome. Spoilers alert, here is a reminder of the last episode, where Junior admits the murder to Uncle Sam. Jim is in the barber shop, shaving. There we are introduced to a guy named Lyle. Jim wants to buy a perfume to impress Rebecca. And Lyle replied that he can prepare something special for Jim. Later, Jim is preparing a population check, where he prepared a list of questions for each citizen in Chester Mill. Meanwhile, Julia is chatting with Joe and Nori. They are worried that Dome is not protecting them, since Angie died. There, Lyle overhears their conversation and hands Julia a list. On the other hand, Junior and Sam are talking about Angie's murder, where Junior thinks that he is a murderer, not remembering anything from that night. Sam asks Junior, "Did you love her?" To which Junior replied, "So much." Sam tells him that he is sure that he wouldn't do anything like that to Angie. Meanwhile, rain started, and people in a bar are preparing to take as much as possible drinkable water. But when they open the door, they notice that the rain is red. There Lyle mentions, "That is blood." While talking with Jim, Lyle mentions that is the biblical apocalypse. But Jim refuses to believe. There Rebecca interrupts them, telling them it's not blood. The similar thing happened in India's village long time ago. There, Sam and Barbie are saving people who got burned by the rain. On the other hand, Rebecca is thinking of a way how to end this rain. And Joe, Nori, and Mysterious Girl are in the school, where they spotted Junior. When asked what he is doing, he replied that he came to finish his homework. Meanwhile, Jim and Rebecca are driving to Chemical Lab, when an unknown man is standing in the middle of the road. Jim hits the tree. Masked man approached the car, kicking Jim outside and kidnapping Rebecca. Meanwhile, at school, Joe is opening his tablet, where he noticed that he has a Wi-Fi connection all of a sudden, and he receives a large number of emails. There his parents wrote him an email, telling him that they hope that he is alright, and to watch out for his sister Angie. There Joe is crushed since Angie is murdered and he didn't protect her. Meanwhile, Big Jim is getting burned from the rain. He calls for help. On the other hand, Nori is checking the internet, where she noticed that the hashtag Dome has been viral on Twitter. There, when Junior opened his email, he received a strange webpage, asking for his mother's birthday. He entered his mother's birthday, and when he opened, he gets the video of his mother, who tells him, "Hi James, I'm alive. I know you were upset, but for any questions, you need to ask Lyle." There he lost connection. Sam and Barbie are saving Jim from the rain. Meanwhile, Rebecca is tied to the chair. There, she learns that the kidnapper is actually Lyle. Lyle confronts her and tells her that she doesn't believe in God, only in science. On the other hand, Jim is injured and keeps repeating one word, Lyle, Lyle. There, Julia and Barbie went to Lyle's barbershop, searching for any clues about Lyle. They found an old picture of Lyle with Sam and Junior's mother. They are confused while calling Sam for help. He replied that 20 years ago Lyle used to date his sister, and he thinks that he knows where he is hiding. Meanwhile, Lyle is torturing Rebecca with bloody rain. It burns her skin, and she apologizes for not believing in God. Barbie, Julia, and Junior enter the place with guns. But Lyle held Rebecca hostage. Julia managed to talk him out of murder, telling him that she believes that this is a biblical sign too, but Rebecca unties her hands just in time, and pours the bloody rain into his face, burning his skin. They arrested Lyle. On the other hand, Joe, Nori, and the unknown girl are at school, where Joe finds out that he receives the signal in the same locker where Angie was murdered. Their unknown girl approaches the locker and uses a combination of numbers, unlocking the locker. Joe and Nori are shocked, where Nori attacks the unknown girl, telling her, "How did you know the password? Who are you?" The girl just replied that she doesn't know. On the other hand, Jim, Rebecca, and Barbie are having a conversation about lowering the population, killing the weak ones. There Julia is attacking both Jim and Rebecca, telling them, "Who are you to choose the faith?" She left the place, but Barbie stayed. Julia thinks that he took the side of Jim and Rebecca and leaves. On the other hand, Lyle is in prison. When Sam approaches his jail cell, told him, "Don't worry, no one is in the building." There, he tells Lyle that the secret was buried 25 years ago, and it should stay that way. Unaware of security cameras, Junior spots the conversation between the two of them. On the other hand, Rebecca is convincing Jim of mass population reduction, saying that only strong deserve to survive, and those who don't contribute anything are worthless. On the other hand, when Sam leaves the jail, Junior approached Lyle, asking him if my mom is really alive. There, Lyle mentioned that maybe he will answer all of his questions if he set him free. On the other hand, Nori, Joe, and Mysterious Girl are looking at all the locker owners in the school, When Joe finds an old school album, there while looking at all students, they find that a student by the name Melanie Cross, class 1988, looks exactly like the mysterious girl. She replied, "I think it's me." On the other hand, Big Jim is already deciding who will live and who will die. There, he spots a religion teacher with a baby. There Rebecca asks Jim, "What does she do? Expect religion for this town?" On the other hand, Julia went to Sam to tell him about Jim and Rebecca's plan to cut the population by 50%. There Sam asked, "What about Barbie?" To which she replied that he is on their side too. While Jim and Barbie are talking, a girl with a baby enters the bar and said hi to Jim. The situation became uncomfortable since both Barbie and Jim know that she is on their list. Junior decided to set Lyle free, hoping that he knows the answers. Lyle replied that they are going to Sam's house, since there are all the answers he needs. Meanwhile, Rebecca is checking the pig farm. There, she spotted a dead pig, saying that the pig died from a pig virus. While the owner is not looking, she takes a blood sample from the pig. At school, Joe, Nori and Melanie found the Wi-Fi signal again, coming from the same locker she unlocked. Their bar and spots Melanie opening the locker. There he asks her, "How did you know the combination?" To which she replies that she thinks it's her locker from 1988. On the other hand, Julia and Sam decided to confront Rebecca on her plan of population deduction. While entering her house, they noticed she has a lot of dirty boots. On her table, they noticed a mini lab with a blood sample. There, they also noticed that she had been reading about pigs and pig viruses. There, they connected the dots and decided to visit a pig farm. Meanwhile, Lyle is showing all the letters that Junior's mother has ended in. There, on each of them, they can see the painting that predicted all the happenings in the dome. Since this is the last letter, Lyle think that they all gonna die. While checking the newsletter from 1988, they found that Melanie's went missing at that time, thinking that she is somehow connected with the dome. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Rebecca is in school lab, injecting a blood sample of the pig into the egg. When asked by Jim what she is doing, she replied that she is creating a pig virus and plans to inject it into the town water supply. She mentions that the only way to know who is strong and who is weak is to shake the tree. Jim is considering it, but she tells him to inject the virus into the bar water today and to think about Chester Mill's future. While visiting Pig Farm, they asked the owner, "Did Rebecca arrive today?" On which he replied that she did, and more pigs started dying. There, Sam and Julia realize that Rebecca plans to inject virus somewhere. On the other hand, Joe and crew are going towards the forest, where they found an egg. There Melanie had a flashback of her own death. She clearly remembered Sam and Lyle, Junior's mother, and her own death. She died with the egg in her hand. There, she mentions that she was Sam's girlfriend, and Kyle was with Junior's mother. Somebody pushed her, making her hit her head and die on the spot. She also mentions that 4 of them found that egg, but she doesn't remember who pushed her. On the other hand, Sam and Julia rush towards the bar, and there while looking at Jim, they notice that he is around water. They both attack Jim in front of everyone in the bar, telling him that he plans to inject the virus into the water. He is pretending that he doesn't know what they are talking about. But Julia and Sam ask, "Can we check your pockets?" And when they did so, they found the virus, exposing Jim in front of everybody. Meanwhile, Lyle convinced Junior that his mother's journal has all answers he needs. There, while searching, Junior finds the journal, and when he opens it, Lyle hits him in the head, making him unconscious. On the other hand, Rebecca is in the church looking at people who are using holy water. She holds another sample of the virus in her hands. The end of part 8. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe, and don't miss out on part 9.